The students of Class 1A buzzed with a mixture of dread and excitement as their bus journeyed to the remote forest training camp in Musutafu, Japan. Located deep within the wilderness, it was designed to push their quirks, and for Ren, his true magic, to their absolute limits. Upon arrival, they were immediately greeted by the eccentric yet formidable wild pussycats. The training began with brutal intensity. Ren, now able to openly use his magic among his classmates, subtly manipulated the earth with ancient spells, molding a beast that was perhaps smaller but unnervingly precise, its movements more fluid than those powered by sheer quirk force. He even used discrete energy enchantments to enhance his physical endurance, setting him apart. Even then, a faint, unsettling feeling crept over Ren, a subtle shimmer in his peripheral vision, a barely perceptible pattern breach in the otherwise serene forest. He dismissed it as fatigue, but a seed of unease was sown. The training intensified day by day. Ren poured himself into expanding his magical reserves and control, learning to apply spells for effects that mimicked enhanced strength, speed, and even limited durability, pushing beyond simple illusions or telekinesis. He openly collaborated with classmates, using his true magic in ways he could never have dreamed of just months prior, lending ethereal boosts to Mina's acid attacks or aiding Tokoyami's dark shadow with unseen currents. The isolation of the camp became more palpable with each passing day, amplifying Ren's growing sense of unease. The pattern breaches he'd initially dismissed became more frequent and distinct, faint, unexplainable glitches in nearby technology, or subtle, impossible distortions in the natural sounds of the forest. Archivist was here, he knew, relentlessly scouting, drawing ever closer. The test of courage was meant to be a bonding exercise, a nighttime fright fest, but it provided the perfect chaotic cover for Archivist's meticulously planned attack. Class 1A was spread out in pairs, vulnerable and disoriented in the dark forest. The initial assault by the Vanguard Action Squad was swift and brutal, throwing the camp into chaos. But unlike a typical villain attack, Archivist's presence was immediately felt by Ren. Communication devices across the camp began to subtly glitch. Heroes' quirks momentarily faltered as their natural patterns were disrupted, and waves of disorientation washed over scattered students, sowing confusion. This cold, intellectual terror, distinct from the raw aggression of the other villains, was Archivist preparing the ground for his true target. In the ensuing chaos, Ren found himself separated from the main group, perhaps with Mina or another classmate, a target now marked by Archivist. The gaunt villain emerged from the shadows, his eyes gleaming with unsettling purpose. He didn't engage in direct combat, but used his pattern breach to systematically counter Ren's magic, disrupting the very flow of his spellcasting, making his incantations falter or requiring immense, painful effort. As Ren struggled, forced to unleash magic more visibly than ever before, the infamous Dabi, drawn by the unique power signatures, noticed him. "What's this, a new little toy for me?" Dabi sneered, unleashing a focused torrent of scorching blue flames directly at Ren, aiming to incinerate him. In a moment of sheer, desperate, and utterly uncharacteristic impulse, facing agonizing pain and potential death, Ren instinctively muttered a quick, ancient phrase, focusing his will on the sadistic spell, "Testicular torsion!" Dabi's triumphant grin instantly contorted into a choked gasp of pure agony. He doubled over, clutching himself, his blue flames sputtering and momentarily dying as he succumbed to an excruciating, incapacitating pain. This gave Ren a crucial, albeit brief, window. He pushed out a powerful magical wave, creating massive pattern breaches across the forest, visual anomalies that Archivist eagerly observed, his grim face alight with the thrill of proving his twisted theories to himself. Ren then scrambled, using quick bursts of telekinetic propulsion and illusionary blurs to evade Dabi and other villains, desperate to find safety for himself and his friends. As pro-heroes, led by Aizawa and the Pussycats, eventually rallied to quell the attack, Archivist, having achieved his goal of observing Ren's heightened magic in such extreme circumstances, made a strategic, chilling retreat. He had gathered irrefutable data, the proof he craved for his future plans. Ren, collapsing from exhaustion, felt the trauma of the event deeply. His true magic had been undeniable to those present, his classmates, the pro-heroes on site, and of course, the villains. But the chaos and the isolated nature of the attack meant that the wider world remained blissfully unaware of the ancient power at play. The emotional fallout for Class 1A was profound, but for Ren, it marked a new, terrifying phase of his existence. His magic was now undeniably exposed to a dangerous few, playing directly into Archivist's long-term plan to force a global revelation, setting the stage for a conflict that would redefine the very nature of heroism.